So most complimented summer fragrances 2026. That's the tagline of the video. However, before I get started with the video, I do need to give you a disclaimer. Compliments are kind of very subjective. It doesn't guarantee that whatever perfumes I show you today will garner the same amount of compliments or the same type of compliments that I have received in my case. However, I saw many creators are making this kind of videos, and this kind of videos, like most complimented fragrances, have got a high amount of search in YouTube. And that is the reason I figured out that if these are the kind of videos that you're searching for, you should at least get same kind of videos, at least from my channel. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my list of perfumes for the summers that have garnered the most amount of compliments. However, I didn't want to, push the budget really high. So what I have done is I have included some budget fragrances, some mid-budget fragrances, and all the perfumes that I'm going to talk about are kind of maximum 3,000 to 3,500 rupees in pricing, and there are many which are less in price as well. So if in case these kind of videos are something that you were looking for, I think this video is going to be super helpful for you. So the first perfume that I'm going to get started with is one of the most budget fragrances out there that has garnered the most amount of compliments in that particular budget, mostly from my office. The perfume that I'm talking about is going to be Fusion by Rizwan's Old Saloon. Okay, I don't know if the camera is focusing or something like that, but that's Old Saloon. And this is a barbershop fragrance, and I have already made a video about Old Saloon where I compared it to Gogeta, like Goku plus Vegeta, because this perfume has got two very specific DNAs blended in together. One is Brute and the second one is Creed Viking. And those two perfumes are basically typical barbershop fragrances, lavender, spices. It's like a shaving cream kind of a fragrance. If in case you have ever went to the old barbershops, like Naika Dukan, or in our case in Bengal, we call it Saloon. So in those areas, if you ever went, this was the typical kind of a smell that you would have got, mostly coming from lavender and then chameli ka tel and all those stuff, all Navratan tel, shaving cream, all those things blended in together into a symphony. That was Old Saloon. Somehow this has been a very manly, masculine perfume that has, like Brute, for an example, has been a masculine perfume. Creed Viking is a very masculine perfume. For Rizwan to blend those two together, the DNAs together, and create a perfume like this was like awesome. By far in this particular price range of like 500 to 600 rupees, because Rizwan is anyway offering buy two, get two all the time in his website. Old Saloon is something that you should really check out. However, I am still testing this perfume out, and although this has not garnered me the same kind of compliments because this I have worn extensively. This I recently got from Rizwan as a testing unit, because he said that, brother, I'm trying to make new fragrances, see if you like this or not. The moment I received it, I was like blown away, because there are two things. With Old Saloon Return, although this is not a video about Old Saloon Return, but still, this is by far one of the best barbershop-y fragrances with the mix of vetiver in it at the base, I would say, at this particular price range. After I spoke with Rizwan, I came to know the reason this is much superior in terms of the blend quality than the previous Old Saloon is because he has used some natural khus or vetiver into the DNA. And over here, I have got amalgamation of Boa de Portugal and then grey vetiver, a little bit of raw vetiver note at the base, along with the similar DNA of Creed Viking that used to exist in this particular one. So this is a bit more spicy, a bit more earthy, grassy, but still carrying that old school barbershop-like vibe into the mix. So Old Saloon Return, although is not the feature of the day, but this is also something that you can definitely check out from Rizwan. But Old Saloon, my god, still one of the best, and at this particular price range, this got me the most amount of compliments. And this perfume, under 500 rupees, lasts really good. Around 6 to 6.5 hours this has lasted on my clothes. By the way, Rizwan is selling apparel perfumes. Disclaimer, these are all apparel perfumes. Please apply them on your clothes, not on your skin. And the longevity is 6 to 6.5 hours, and the projection has been really good on this one. 1 to 1.5 hours. This will project from your clothes, and really good for the pricing. Old Saloon. The next one is also a budget category fragrance, and this was the inspiration, you can say, for me to create Luxe Duality. In this video, again, duality is not the highlight of the video because you will say that, you know, you are just marketing your own product. You didn't get any compliments on this one. You're just saying, but see, I have put a lot of dent myself on this particular perfume. I wear this perfume a lot, and Luxe Duality has given me a lot of compliments. However, this is not the feature of this particular video. While this is Ingenious, and when Menworks basically launched Ingenious, that is what gave me the inspiration to create Luxe Duality, because over here also they have blended two very opposite DNA. One is a fresh DNA of Tiger, and along with that they have incorporated the DNA of Nishane Ani into the mix, which is a bit gourmand, vanilla heavy fragrance. So that was kind of the inspiration for Luxe Duality when we were creating it. Over here the DNAs are different. This starts gourmand and then starts going into the fresh category. This, on the other hand, starts fresh and then starts going into the gourmand category. So Ingenious is going to be something, something that I have worn almost every single time. It's not summer, winter specific, but something that has worked through and through over the years. And this is, a really good perfume. Starts really fresh up top. It will give you that vibe of ginger, that, you know, citruses that you get with the Bulgari Tiger DNA. Imagine anything like Theorem, Turati Blue, anything like that. And very quickly, it starts going into the direction of Nishane Ani, which is like a lemon key pie. So it's a pie which has a lemon flavor along with some vanillic notes in it, sweet vanillic notes. That is what Ingenious is. And at around 799 or 800 rupees for a 50 ml, this is a banger of a perfume. Projection, decent. Around 1 hour of projection when applied on the clothes. Around 5.5 to 6 hours of longevity when applied on the clothes. And this also got me a lot of compliments when I have worn it to the office, as well as when I have, you know, casual gathering with friends and everything. And this is one particular perfume that Chandrima basically loves on me. However, I have not put a lot of dent in this particular perfume because I have been trying many. And somehow, and this, every time I have tested this perfume on my clothes, somebody or the other has came and said like, you're wearing something really good. So if in case you're looking for a, you know, balance between gourmand and fresh perfume, you can definitely check out Ingenious. And honorable mention, I would say, but not a feature of this video, Duality as well. Okay. So let me keep these perfumes over here so that, you know, once they are completed, at least I can show them around. So yeah. Let me move on to my third perfume. This is going to be Riiffs Prive Platinum. And this is the smell of Creed's Silver Mountain Water DNA into the perfume. Although I'm going to make a clone war of Creed Silver Mountain Water and we will see which one is the closest in terms of the DNA. However, this is one of the best, okay, in my opinion. Blind test, I don't know, but if in case I'm not doing a blind test and I'm being a bit biased, this is this one particular perfume which nails the Silver Mountain Water DNA to a lot of extent. This starts with a very fresh floral note along with the notes of blackcurrant in it. It has got some galbanum at the base. It has got a hint of sandalwood. This is a very citrus floral perfume and by far one of the best when it comes to the DNA of Silver Mountain Water in my opinion, although there are many. However, this does something really good that the others don't. Okay, let me talk about them. One is Ajmal's Silver Shade and another one is going to be honorable mention, which is going to be Daddy Perfumes Player. Now, these two perfumes I have already talked about in my previous videos. Daddy Player is actually good, not a bad perfume. And at 1200 rupees for 100 ml, if in case you don't have that budget to go for a Prive Platinum, which I just last checked on Alex Bloom was selling for around 1700 rupees. And by the way, thank you Alex Bloom for supporting the channel. And this was a partial that I received from Alex Bloom. If in case you're looking for a Riiffs Prive Platinum, you can definitely check that out. Around 1649 or 1700 was the last, the last when I checked, that was the pricing. You can definitely go for it. And if in case you don't have the money to spend around 1700 rupees, at 1200 rupees, Daddy Player is actually a good option. And Silver Shade also 1300. Even at times I have seen this perfume go as low as 900 for 100 ml. And for that particular pricing, this is also good. However, There are some key differences or problems, I would say, with these two perfumes, because of which I prefer this DNA. And although the compliment was not given to this particular perfume, but to the DNA of Silver Mountain Water, but these two perfumes have got specific problems. Like for example, Ajmal Silver Shade has got a metallic note, which kind of induces headache to many. In my case, it does induce some sort of headache to me, and that is the reason I am not at all, very super comfortable applying this perfume in this particular area. If I'm applying it on my hands or something away from my nose, still it's better, but it kind of induces a bit of headache, and that is the reason that metallic note I really don't like, and that is the reason Ajmal Silver Shade, although is honorable mention, but I would skip Silver Shade and go for these two any day. Now, what about Daddy Player? Why not Daddy Player and why this? The reason is because of the blend quality. This is far superior when it comes to the blend quality, and the projection and longevity on Prive Platinum is better than Daddy Player, and that is the reason I would any day prefer Platinum over Daddy Player. But at this price point of 1200 for 100 ml, this is also really good. But at 1700, this is better, and this garnered a lot of compliments for me while I was in the gym and while I was in my office, because office and gym are the two test areas where I go and test my perfumes a lot, because I get to speak with a lot of people, I get to meet with a lot of people, and they know that I review perfumes. So most of the time they would come, they would smell it. If they like it, they do comment about it. If they don't, they would just say that we are not liking it, or they would just anyway ignore me and leave, okay, rather than saying that this alarm. So it's going to be midnight. So I guess that was the reason the alarm was ringing. Okay. So that was the reason. I mean, they would just completely ignore me and leave. But Prive Platinum, one of the best when it comes to the Silver Mountain DNA. And I love it. And I get a lot of compliments wearing this perfume. Now, the fourth perfume. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Now, the fourth perfume, which has got me a lot of compliments in the price range of 999 for a 50 ml, is going to be Illusion from the House of Honourable. This smells like imagination from the House of Louis Vuitton, a perfume which balances the citruses with the black tea very elegantly, very high quality in terms of the smell quality, the blend quality. The projection on this one is around an hour. The longevity is around 5.5 to 6 hours when applied on the clothes. And in case of very high heat, maybe the performance will be reduced a bit, maybe say 4 hours or 5 hours, but till the time it lasts, oh my god, it creates a very good sillage as well. And every time I have worn this, people have come and said that you smell very, very, very clean. It's an upscale, clean perfume. It has got some soapy vibes as well, but the green tea, the citruses, the soapy vibe, chef's kiss. And at 999 for a 50 ml, it justifies its price. Okay, a Babel Illusion. Although this is not the Clone War winner. Oof, Mind's Eye was the Clone War winner, but still, this is one of my favorite when it comes to the DNA of Imagination by Louis Vuitton. And it does give me a lot of compliments. Okay, now, the next perfume that has given me a lot of compliments is this one. This is Blue by Ahmed. And this is a twist on the DNA of Bleu de Chanel. Bleu de Chanel is, again, a very super popular perfume. It has got grapefruit at the top. It has got some ginger. It has got some sandalwood. It has got some incenses. Blue by Ahmed is basically a twist on the DNA of Bleu de Chanel, kind of a Middle Eastern or an Oriental twist. Here they have added a bit of white musk. They have introduced some florals. I mean, they have made the grapefruit a bit more sweeter, and they have reduced the intensity of sandalwood over here. But still, this is very, very, very good when it comes to the DNA of Bleu de Chanel, in my opinion. And it's kind of a darker shade of blue, I would say. If Bleu de Chanel is blue, normal blue color, this is going to be a tad bit darker shade of blue, in my honest opinion. At 1700 to 2000 rupees for a 100 ml bottle, you cannot go wrong with this one in the summers. Garnered me a lot of compliments again in my office, and my colleagues say this has got some hint or something at the base which when I'm walking, the sillage kind of is very intoxicating according to them. So I'm just letting you know, although these can be made up by them, I am not aware of, but this is really good. And by far one of the favorite DNA Blue de Chanel that I currently own in my collection. However, there is one more honorable mention, which is my Perfume Secrets Blue de Chanel. This is a Parfum version. I already made a video about the Blue de Chanel clones, which one you should buy and which one you should skip. And I have also made a clone war way back about the Blue de Chanel EDP, if in case those two excites you. I will keep the link in the description. You can go and check them out after you have watched this video, but that's an honorable mention that you can go for. But that's Parfum. And regarding compliments, I cannot tell you much because most of the time when I have worn this has garnered a lot of compliments. Okay. Now, the next perfume that I want to talk about is going to be this one. This is Ard Al Zafran Special Edition. And this is what I say is an Indianized version of Altair DNA. At around 1700 rupees to 1800 rupees, this gives you 120 ml. And again, thank you Elix Bloom, because Elix Bloom was the website from where I bought this perfume from. So shout out must go to them. Okay. So this is not your typical Altair DNA. Altair is dense, sweet, heavy. This on the other hand is airy, still carrying that gourmand nature, but with some more spices where the sweetness is reduced. And I would say this does smell better during the summers from any other Altair clone out there because of the way this perfume has been blended. This has got a bit of pistachio note at the base. They have reduced praline over here. They have added the nuances in such a way that you will feel, I mean, the note structure of this particular perfume is completely different from what you get in Altair. But in the air, it kind of smells like Altair, which is incredible. Altair is a perfume which smells vanillic, gourmandish, and it's kind of a cinnamon roll, vanilla cinnamon roll with some lot of spices at the top. That is what the smell of Altair would smell like. But this, on the other hand, is the summer version or the cousin that is better for the summers when it comes to the DNA. Here, the vanilla is airy, not dense, not thick. Sweetness, minimal, not that sweet. Spices, amped up, and it kind of projects really well. The only problem is the longevity, 5.5 hours, maybe 6 max, but 5.5 hours I would say. This will last on your clothes. Projection is around 1 hour 15 minutes, but it's a good projecting perfume, not a beast mode one, but a moderate one. And anybody coming, in close proximity to you will be able to smell this perfume. And this is actually a very, very, very good alternative, summer alternative to Altair DNA. Okay. And this also got me a lot of compliments, mostly when I'm hanging around with my friends during the evening. This kind of shines through even if the weather is hot. And in the office, I do wear it a couple of times, but it didn't get me those compliments that the other freshies did in the office during the summers. But in the evening, this did get me a lot of compliments. Altair DNA, which is Ard Al Zafran Special Edition, or Special Edition. Yes. Now, I got tired. Okay. Now, let me talk about another perfume, okay, which has got me a lot of compliments, which is going to be this one. This is Riiffs coming from the house of Ahmed. This is the twist. I mean, I'm holding something on my hand. I'll talk about it. This is that one particular twist or inspiration on the DNA of Pacific Chill that I love the most. And this perfume does justice to the DNA, in my opinion. It has not, swayed away to those dry fruits, fig, apricot DNA that Pacific Chill has at the base. It rather leans more towards the grapefruit, the citruses, the spices, and it's a twist on the DNA of Pacific Chill that I like. I mean, absolutely love. So did my colleague, so did my friend, so did Chandrima. And this is a beast mode projecting perfume in terms of summer freshies. Around 1.5 hours this kind of projects. Around 6.5 hours this will, even in some cases 7 hours, this will last on your clothes. Around at I think 3,000 to 3,500 is the pricing for this particular perfume, as and when I'm recording this video, because maybe 6 months down the line you're watching this video and you're going to come and complain like, the prices that you have said are not really exist. They barely exist or something like that. So I'm really sorry if that happens. But in terms of the pricing at 3,000 to 3,500, like 3,000 to 3,500 rupees, this is a really good option. The opening feels like a Minute Maid pulpy orange juice, if in case you have smelled it or drank it ever. It smells really refreshing up top. And the best inspiration, in my opinion, on the DNA of Pacific Chill is this one. But what if you don't have the budget to get the rare reef? In that case, this is a rare reef killer, in my opinion, which is Coastal Breeze, coming from the house of Uff Perfumes. By the way, again, apparel perfume, because a lot of you are concerned about health, and also apparel perfume applied on your clothes. Okay, 1300 rupees for 100 ml, dirt cheap when you compare it with this one, Rare Reef. And this smells very, very, very identical to Rare Reef. But Rare Reef has got some smoky notes of camphor at the base, according to me and Chandrima. This, on the other hand, leans a bit more towards the holy basil or tulsi route. This feels a tad bit more greener, but in terms of the smell, this smells very, very, very identical to the DNA of Rare Reef and very refreshing. If in case you don't have the budget to get Rare Reef, do get a Coastal Breeze from Uff. You will not be disappointed. Although the performance is not as beast mode as Afnan's Rare Reef, but it is really good. Around 1 hour of projection, around 5 to 6 hours of longevity, 5.5 hours I would say longevity when applied on the clothes. Very, very, very good value for money perfume. And Rare Reef, budget option, Coastal Breeze. The last perfume on my list is going to be this one. The moment I have purchased this perfume, this has garnered very, very, very high number of compliments, which is Rasasi Hawas Verde. Verde is basically an inspiration on the DNA of Torino 21 by Xerjoff. I already made a video where I compared this with a budget alternative, which I'm going to speak about in a minute. But the moment I got this perfume, I have applied this, I have worn it to the office, and people were like, oh my god, you feel so fresh, you feel so minty. It's like you're wearing a toothpaste, okay? I know it might sound weird, but this perfume does really make you get that vibe. It's very energetic, it's refreshing. It has got the note of mint or spearmint at the top. It has got basil or holy basil at the top as well. This is like a very, very, very good mouth freshener kind of a feeling that you get with this particular perfume. And quite frankly, this has got a nuanced layer of Rasasi Hawas at the base, that bubblegummy, sweet, aquatic note. There is a hint or nuance letting you know that this is Hawas DNA, okay? So Hawas Verde lives up to its name, Torino 21 DNA with a twist of Hawas, and my god, this got me many, many compliments. In terms of the projection, this is beast mode. Around 1.5 hours this is going to project when applied on the clothes. Around 6.5 hours of longevity when applied on the clothes easily. 3,500 would be the pricing that it's available as of now, but if in case it is available below 3,000, just grab it. One hell of a perfume. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, and this is by far one of the best Hawas flankers that I currently own in my collection. I love the perfume. But what if you don't have the money to spend around 3,500 on this particular perfume? In that case, you can get a budget alternative by the name of Beardo Acid. I already made a video comparing the two. You can check it out and see what is the key differences between the two. This gets the same vibe, Beardo Acid, and this is selling for like 13 to 1500 rupees for 100 ml. This particular 30 ml sells for like 650 to 600 rupees. And if in case you don't want to get the full bottle, this 30 ml is enough for this entire summer, in my opinion. And this also garnered a lot of compliments. I mean, the DNA did. This one is just the budget alternative. This actually got the compliments, okay? And this would last you max 30 minutes to 40 minutes when it comes to the projection part, 3 to 4 hours when applied on the clothes. In terms of the longevity part, since you're spending less, you're getting less in terms of the performance. However, the DNA is top notch. So these were the perfumes that got me the most amount of compliments in terms of a freshy perfume for the summers that I thoroughly tested and I applied. I went to the office, I went to the gym, and I did each and everything. There are many, but these were the ones that were noticed mostly and which generated the most amount of compliments, at least in my case. I want you to do one thing. I usually don't ask this, but I want you to go ahead in the comment section and let me know what has been the most complimented perfume in your collection for the summers that you have, applied, and you're surprised by how much attention it got and how much, compliments you got wearing that particular perfume. And it has to be a summer perfume. And there is no budget. I mean, just write whatever is your favorite or the most complimented one, and let's keep the comment section healthy. Let's share and see what everybody has to offer. and maybe somebody from the audience will be, you know, reading the comments and getting, this one got the compliment, so let me just, you know, try that out and see. So that has been the review for the day. If in case there is any queries or concerns, you know what to do. Hit the comment section, let me know, or else you can connect with me via Instagram, which is Saga Online, and I will try my best to answer your queries as soon as possible. So with that, this is Deep signing off. I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye bye.